From Eyewitness News, breaking news.
What we do know right now is that we have found a body underneath a bridge.
It's been 3 months now since 5-year-old Lucas Hernandez was reported missing.
We've all been following it since day one.
Nobody knows our little boy, but to them it's their little boy. And I think everybody should think like that, because it's never you, until it happens to you.
We're happy, and hopefully there can be peace set for Lucas.
Oh, I'm sure it brings a sense of relief to a lot of folks if this is in fact Lucas Hernandez.
The body of a small child believed to be Lucas Hernandez is found. This is breaking news we've been following all evening. The body found under a bridge in the 9700 block of South Woodlawn in Harvey County.
Sheriff Chad Gay said the body is in such a condition they couldn't identify it. We have multiple reporters on this story, including Brenda Carrasco, Rachel Skida, Devin Fassbinder, Angela Monroe, and more. We start with Rachel Skida. She has the latest from the scene. Rachel?
Active scene out here tonight. Police have been here for hours. You can still see the lights back behind me. They arrived here earlier this evening when that body was found. Now, Wichita police have told us they're not going to be able to give us any more updates here tonight, but we did speak to the Harvey County Sheriff earlier. He told us that they did find a small body. He couldn't say if it's Lucas Hernandez, but he says if it is, many people would feel a sense of relief. Police swarmed a rural dirt road in Harvey County Thursday evening.
What we do know right now is that we have found a body.
Harvey County Sheriff Chad Gay said it was a small body or a child found under a bridge. He said the body looked like it had been there for a while and couldn't be identified because of the condition. Gay could not say whether it was found by a private investigator, but did say it was found during a search for Lucas Hernandez. We asked whether police ever searched this area for Lucas in the past.
They've never told me that they've been in Harvey County looking.
Gay said this area does not see a lot of traffic, and the body was in a place that wouldn't be easily seen. Police can't say whether this is Lucas, but here's what Gay said about the chance that it could be the missing 5-year-old.
Oh, I'm sure it brings a sense of relief to a lot of folks if this is in fact Lucas Hernandez. But again, nobody knows that for sure.
Although this is in Harvey County, the sheriff told us all future updates will come from Wichita Police. Police told us they plan on giving us an update tomorrow. We don't know if they'll be able to identify the body by that time, but we'll keep you updated as we get more information.
We want to talk for a minute here about what led police to this situation, and that was a private investigator from North Carolina. We do know he came in here, and Melissa was very confident that he would be able to solve this case.
His name is David Marshburn. We're going to have more information on him a little bit later in the show, but he came in yesterday, did in-depth interviews with Lucas Hernandez's biological father and his stepmother, that is Emily Glass, and apparently over the course of yesterday, those long interviews, and then in today, they went out there and searched for Lucas Hernandez based on the information that Emily Glass gave this private investigator, and that's what led them to this body, according, again, to this private investigator.
Yeah, the key question, how was he able to obtain that information? We have our personal protection expert here, Joe Schlacey. He's a homicide detective on one side, now serves as a private investigator. We'll be talking to him later in the show. Right now, though, a vigil has been held tonight for Lucas Hernandez. Angela Monroe is there live. Angela?
That's right, a vigil is underway with several dozen people here at the place where Lucas was last reported seen. If you take a look behind me, you can see there are probably about, I'd say, 3 dozen people. More continue to arrive. Now, since Lucas first went missing, people have been very involved in searching for him, trying to keep awareness for him. There have been, once again, some people out there who have been searching basically since he first disappeared. Now, we spoke with multiple people out here tonight. One of them was a social worker and says that she found it very important to be out here tonight to show solidarity and say that, it's so hard to see children like this and to see this happen. Another one was a mother and said she has a child who's just a little bit older than Lucas and can't imagine something like this happening. Now, we also spoke with several of Jonathan's friends out here, Jonathan Hernandez's family friends. They said they were out here, first of all, of course, to show support and solidarity, but also because they were wanting to make sure that this property was still being respected there. They said that they were on the phone with Jonathan about half an hour ago. They say that he is on his way back, and he is, as you would imagine, devastated. They say they actually spoke with Emily as well on the day she was released from court. They say that was the first time they met her, and they did ask her about Lucas, but they said she was more so talking about her child who was involved in that case that she was released from after the jury found her not guilty in that one. But once again, as you can see, a group of people have come together to remember, memorialize Lucas, who many have called him Wichita's son, and they're going to be out here for a while tonight. We will, of course, continue to be out here as well.
Thanks, Angela. Anna Auld is at the Sedgwick County Jail right now. No one has been booked yet in this case. She continues our Team 12 coverage.
What did they say?
I am here at City Hall in Wichita. Lucas Hernandez's family says that Emily Glass will be booked, or she is booked rather, into Harvey County Jail, but those records there do not indicate that she is in that jail. It also does not indicate yet that she is in Sedgwick County Jail, but we could be getting an update on where she might be if she's going to be booked into jail here in the next couple of hours or here tonight. We will keep you updated as soon as we have any new information.
Going back to the private investigator, we were in contact with that private investigator earlier who said that he did lead investigators to this scene.
Yeah, our reporter Brenda Carrasco has been talking to him all day long. She continues our Team 12 coverage.
We know that Lucas's mother, Jamie Taylor Orr, and Lucas's maternal grandmother are here right now joining the search group that for so long helped search for Lucas. I did get a statement from Jamie who recaps just all the difficulties that she went through when Lucas Hernandez was born. He was born with problems, and she says she wanted nothing more than just to be with her child that was born with difficulties, and how he changed her life for the better. And now the family says that although this is a tragedy, they say this was a moment that needed to happen because they needed closure into Lucas's life and to find out exactly what happened to him.
We did talk to some neighbors in the area where Lucas lived. They tell us while they did hold out hope that Lucas would be found alive, the longer he was missing, the more their hopes vanished.
You hope for the best, that they may have, would have found him alive. But after a while, you just, after time passes, and it's just like, maybe not.
Lucas was last seen more than 3 months ago.
So how did we get to this point? That's the question Devin Fastbinder answers. She takes a look at this case from the start.
It began February 17th when Lucas Hernandez disappeared from a home near Lincoln and Edgemore. Initial reports said his stepmother, Emily Glass, was the last to see him in his bedroom around 3 o'clock that afternoon. He wasn't wearing shoes. Police launched a full investigation, calling in the FBI to help. 3 days later, Emily Glass took a lie detector test. We don't know the outcome. On February 21st, 4 days after Lucas disappeared, Emily Glass was arrested on 2 counts of child endangerment. The arrest for Lucas was never charged. The arrest for Glass's other child was charged, and Glass sat in jail. A few days after the arrest, Glass spoke exclusively with me, saying she didn't know what happened to Lucas and wants him home. His biological parents, Jonathan Hernandez and Jamie Taylor Orr, spoke with us too, begging for Lucas's return. But police didn't find Lucas, and after more than a week of exhaustive searching, officers stopped actively searching and only responded to tips. That's when volunteers took over and did daily searches for weeks before switching to searching on weekends, desperate to find Lucas. That takes us into early March, where a group called EquiSearch came to Wichita to help search for Lucas. Though the group did not disclose specific tactics, organizers believed they could help, but they didn't find anything either. Fast forward to this month. On May 9th, Lucas's father, Jonathan Hernandez, was arrested and charged with battery in a case involving Emily Glass's other child. His trial is scheduled for July. Then on the 16th of this month, a jury found Emily Glass not guilty of child endangerment, and she went home. Volunteers used bake sales, vigils, and other searches to try to keep Lucas at the forefront, but it wasn't until Thursday that anyone had any luck.
Fact Finder 12 takes a look at what we know. A small body was found this afternoon under a bridge in southeast Harvey County. That body has not been identified, but a private investigator with Lucas Hernandez's family says it is Lucas. The PI said the information about where his body was came from Emily Glass, Lucas's stepmother. We will continue to follow this story, bringing you new details as we get them on air and online at kwch.com.
A severe thunderstorm warning has been issued for eastern Rooks County over into Osborne County. We're tracking a thunderstorm that could produce some hail between nickel and quarter size. In the last few minutes, we've also had a wind gust reported on this thunderstorm as it's now passing over the Stockton area. That wind report that's come in the last few minutes is below a severe criteria, but it does give you some indication of what we're looking at here. Winds measured at 51 miles per hour. That storm is moving east at 40 and will likely work its way down Highway 24. Bring you up to the current time. Let me show you the estimated time of arrival as we continue to watch this powerful thunderstorm again work its way toward Osborne County. Moving east at about 40, there's no doubt it's going to hold together for a little while longer, so it should be into Osborne at 10:52, Downs at 11:04. Strong thunderstorms just to the southeast of Phillipsburg. We've got strong thunderstorms from Plainville down into the Hayes area. Hail with the storm around Hayes, likely to be smaller than dimes, but kind of noisy with all the lightning that's out there tonight. Other strong thunderstorms back to the west of La Crosse, working their way across Rush County. Those storms expected to last much later into the night, and it will continue to move east. In southwest Kansas, we've got strong thunderstorms across southern Gray County. From Montezuma, they're pushing on to the east-southeast and will be coming across the southern portion of Ford County, northern Meade County as well. Watch out for winds gusting up to about 50 miles per hour and some penny-sized hail on that storm in southern Gray County. I'll keep an eye on the storms that are developing across Kansas and be back with an update on the storms and your Memorial Day forecast in just a few minutes.
All right, thanks for the update, Ross. Our coverage of the body found likely to be that of Lucas Hernandez continues tonight. Devin Fassbinder will have details on who this private investigator is that found the body.
Expect more from KWCH 12. This is Eyewitness News at 10. Online at kwch.com. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. This is KWCH 12 Eyewitness News at 10.
We continue to follow the developing story of a body found in Harvey County. Take a look at this map. This yellow circle you see right here is where the body was found, up and underneath that bridge in the 9700 block of South Woodlawn. Rachel Skida is near this area. And Rachel, what are you seeing right now?
Well, there is still a large police presence out here tonight, but it has gone down dramatically in just the past couple hours. Earlier, this entire rural road that we're on right now, 96th, was lined with police vehicles all the way down to that bridge where they say this body was found. And we're going to zoom in so you can see what's left of the scene here tonight. It looks like the crime scene investigators down there have put up a larger light to allow them to see as it's pitch black out here right now. And again, we are in such a rural area. There's no light from any other streets or houses where we are right now. There are still several police vehicles that we can see down there. Again, that bridge where the body was found is down towards that area where you can still see the lights. We were told by Wichita police that they're not going to give us any more information out here on scene tonight, but they will give us more information tomorrow. We don't know exactly what type of information that will be. We don't know if they're going to be able to identify the body at that time, but we do expect to get an update from them as early as tomorrow morning. Jacob Albrecht has also been out here all night on scene. I'm gonna toss over to him now. Jacob, what are you seeing where you are?
Rachel, it's a very emotional scene over here. The search group, the family, is on this side of the scene, and I'm going to step out of the way and let you know what's happening here. This is, again, very emotional, so we want to let people know. We've got a chaplain here, and coming up, we're told in one of these vehicles, in this van, is the body. And again, that body has not been identified, but we're told the family and supporters are going to be allowed to say a prayer here. That is what you're seeing right now. There is a chaplain on scene. These supporters are still out here. There is some family. These folks are out here. These law enforcement officers wanted to give them the opportunity to say a prayer around this van. And I know it's blocked right now. They're right on the other side of that van that you see right there. You can see a couple of them, hats coming off for the law enforcement officers. Again, there is a chaplain here. We just saw them. This is all something that just came together in the last few minutes. So a moment for the supporters of Lucas Hernandez, for family, for all these folks to say a prayer right here as the body that was recovered today is here in this van, and the people around saying their thoughts, giving their prayers, some of the law enforcement joining in with that. A very, very emotional scene right now as we are going to see this van leave the scene. This is where the body that was recovered. And again, these folks that you'll see right now as the van pulls away, these are all the people that have been out here for hours as this search has happened. Clearly emotional right now. We have talked to a lot of these people. They're relieved, they're happy, they're sad. You can imagine the emotional roller coaster they've been on today, but that moment right there, probably the most raw emotion we've seen out here with this group of supporters as they were able to say a prayer with the chaplain here around the body, which again has not been identified, but all the supporters believe that that is the body of 5-year-old Lucas Hernandez, who's been missing for months. Very, very emotional scene here right now as the family and the supporters get their first real chance to grieve here with what law enforcement has found today. It's very, very emotional. No way to capture that or put it into words, what these folks out here are going through right now, but they've had the chaplain, so we'll send it back to you guys.
All right, not only those supporters, we've seen so much of this community come out in this search for Lucas, people who had no idea who Lucas Hernandez was before.
You saw some of them there tonight. I know a lot of searchers were there as they were waiting for this news to come in, and we also saw Angela Monroe earlier at a vigil at Lucas's old home there on Edgemore here in Wichita, and it's hard to express what we just saw there because we're both parents and we saw Lucas's biological mother there crying, and it's upsetting to see this, but I know like a lot of them said, it gave them a little peace of mind to know that they think in their minds that Lucas has been found.
That's why we wanted to pull back at that point to let them grieve. Again, it was a private investigator who says he found who he believes to be Lucas Hernandez.
David Marshburn talked with us Saturday. Devin Fastbinder looked into his history and continues our Team 12 coverage. Devin.
Yeah, David Marshburg is a bail bondsman, bounty hunter, and a private investigator. The phrase he goes by in his work is "everyone is meant to be found." Today, he says he did just that with Lucas Hernandez. In this video from 48 Hours, David Marshburg talked about his first case, Fort Bragg soldier Kelly Bordeaux, who was missing for 2 years before he got on the case, and then he found her. Marshburg works with an assistant and 2 search dogs. He wouldn't get into too much detail about his tactics, but tells us he works 1 case at a time and doesn't charge those involved. He only asks for his travel expenses to be paid for. He says this is how he gives back. He came into town just within the past day or so and already says he had success. Marshburg told us this weekend he was 70% sure he could find Lucas Hernandez. He just needed to talk to Jonathan Hernandez and Emily Glass.
She wound up getting her son in touch with me, Jonathan. And I explained to him what I did. I said, hey, you know, you have your choice of any PI you want. You have your choice of anybody to help you if you need help. What we do is we try and do it for free. A lot of people can't, you know, afford a PI, and this is the way I pay it forward. This is the way I move forward and help other people.
Again, that is the man who says he found the body he believes to be Lucas Hernandez. He says Lucas's grandmother called him initially to get him on the case.
Devin, thank you. This newscast is dedicated to Lucas Hernandez, but we do want to get a little bit of your weather in, especially for Memorial Day weekend. And a look at your Storm Team 12 forecast is coming up next.
Now, your accurate Storm Team 12 forecast.
Welcome back. Strong to severe thunderstorms continue to work their way across Kansas. The only severe thunderstorm warning to tell you about right now is for eastern sections of Rooks County over into Osborne County. This storm is moving east at about 40 miles per hour, and it will be headed for the Osborne area here momentarily. The storm does have a history of producing winds over 50 miles per hour, and we have had at least 1 report of some nickel to quarter-size hail. So with that storm pushing east at close to 40, there's a good chance it will hold together for several more hours. We have it coming into Osborne at 10:47. Downs, 10:58, Cocker City at 11:06, Glen Elder shortly after 11 o'clock tonight. Those storms extend up to the north along Highway 36 in Phillips and Smith counties, although for Smith Center, looks like some heavy rainfall. Doesn't look like there'll be too much in the way of hail there, but a lot of lightning being produced with these storms. Strong thunderstorms continue farther south from southeastern portions of Rooks County down into western sections of Russell County. Again, most of these are moving at 35 to 40 miles per hour, just to give you a small sample of when those storms storms will be getting into Russell. We see 1035 there, Luray at 1052, Lucas at around 1105, winds up to 50 miles per hour. Could be some dime-sized hail. Strong thunderstorms are moving through La Crosse right now. Looks like heavy rainfall, pea-sized hail, maybe a wind gust 45 to 50 miles per hour. And another big thunderstorm that we're watching tonight is showing up in southern sections of Gray County. There's just a tremendous amount of lightning with this. Look at this. In the last 10 minutes, this thunderstorm complex has produced more than 500 lightning strikes. So a highly electrified storm tonight to the south of Montezuma. That storm is moving to the southeast. Now, here's where we go through the rest of the night. Storms moving out of western Kansas will be coming through central Kansas in the next couple of hours. Looks like for Salina, Hutchinson, Wichita, we have a pretty good chance of seeing some storms tonight, most of them happening shortly after midnight. Early Friday morning, some of you getting a jump start on your holiday weekend. There should be some rain around south central Kansas between about 6 a.m. and 10 a.m. Then those will move out. Friday afternoon looks to be hot and dry. Temperatures getting back into the 90s for most of Kansas. Friday night looks dry. Going into Saturday, we're going to see a lot of sunshine across the plains, and temperatures are expected to go back into the 90s once again for Saturday afternoon. Get ready for a hot Memorial Day weekend across the plains. A live look over the city tonight in Wichita, 74 degrees on Capitol Federal Skycam 12. Southeast wind at 7. Low temperatures tonight in the 60s. Storms moving out of western Kansas will come through central Kansas around midnight. Wichita looking at a pretty good chance for some storms late tonight, and tomorrow morning we'll start out with a rain chance around Wichita. We go back to sunshine in the afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the low 90s. More humidity, very steamy for your Friday afternoon. Your 10-day forecast: Saturday looking sunny and 94. Sunday, 95 degrees with a lot of sunshine, but western Kansas, we have the chance for storms coming back into the area as we get into Sunday night. Those will be scattered. Some of them could be strong. 92 on Memorial Day. Storm chances are back Monday night, again Tuesday night, but look at all of the 90s headed for Kansas as we go through the last several days of May. Your patent termite and pest weather umbrella winner tonight is Catherine Shupp from Keachai. If you want to win, sign up at kwch.com. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Joined now by our personal protection expert, Joe Schlacey, who has spent his career as an investigator, also a homicide investigator, but now a PI. We look at Lucas Hernandez case and this PI that comes in and in one day leads police to this body. How do you think this happened?
Well, I don't think it took place in one day. I think there was developing rapport long before one day. I think there were phone conversations and collaboration and coordination between family members and this investigator.
Developing that rapport was key, you think?
Absolutely, absolutely. Number one role in investigations is developing that trust and that rapport in order to get the information you need.
Quickly, what makes it different for him than investigators, police investigators who we know tried?
Probably the amount of pressure that was taking place at that time. That pressure was relieved, and the atmosphere was different. I don't know who all is involved, but if you just look at the totality of circumstances, his situation is a lot easier and a lot better versus law enforcement and the amount of pressure that they're under to get answers in this case.
All right, Joe Schlacey, I wish we had more time. Thank you for coming in. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
We want to get right to Anna Auld. She's at the Sedgwick County Jail with an update on this story. Anna, what can you tell us?
Melissa, while I was just over at City Hall within the last 3 to 4 minutes, I saw 2 officers escort a woman. I did not see her face. I did see the top of her head, but I could tell it was a woman. They put her into the back of a patrol car and then took her over here to the Sedgwick County Jail. Now, earlier today, we heard from Lucas Hernandez's family that said Emily Glass may be in the Harvey County Jail, but we have not confirmed that. We looked at those jail records. She is not in that jail. She is also not in the Sedgwick County Jail or booked in yet, as we have known. But again, just a couple of minutes ago, I saw a couple of police officers escort a woman, put her in a patrol car, and take her here over to Sedgwick County Jail. And again, we did not see her face, but we will keep you updated as soon as we know more.
This is just into our newsroom. Lucas's stepmother, Emily Glass, has been booked into the Sedgwick County Jail at 10:34.
We don't know the charges yet. Look for complete updates online and tomorrow morning beginning at 4:30.